So this is going to be just a quick review on the Nokian Outpost APT tires. Went back and forth on getting new tires, upgrading with what was stock on this 24 Mazda CX50 that I got earlier in the year. I tend to go up to the higher elevations, kind of where roads tend to have a lot of granite roads on them, and I just never felt comfortable being on those roads and fire roads with just the stock tires. Not a lot of reception. Didn't want to have a flat tire over there. This car does come with a spare inside, which is really nice. It's not a full-size spare, but it's still nice to have regardless. And I kept kind of going back and forth, and the number one tire that kept coming up was the Wild Peak AT Trails, which are great tires, no doubt that they are. I just kind of wanted to see what other options were out there, and it's a growing segment. I know the Nitto Nomads are new, and they tend to have some pretty good reviews as well. I didn't want something that was heavy. I think I got this car instead of a pickup for the economical aspect of it. Comfortable to drive, great on long road trips. Still have a pretty good all-wheel drive system to go up snowboarding and up in the wintertime, but also enough of a possibility to kind of just do some very mild off-roading while still getting 30 miles to the gallon. And especially in today's day and age with fuel prices, kind of the big reason why I kind of went with this car to begin with. So finally pulled the trigger on these tires now that winter's coming, and they had to order them in. I got them at America's Tire, and they said everywhere I checked, all the tire shops I checked, they said they're not very popular in this region. They have a great reputation. Nokian has a tremendous reputation from all the tire shops I spoke to. They're just not popular here in the West Coast, since they're known for their winter tires. A big reason going with these is that they just opened a factory to make them up in the Midwest, I believe Illinois. So they're made in the U.S. Every tire is that they sell in North America is made in that plant. So they're 100% American made, which is great. They have great winter reputation. They tend to do very well when it comes to wet and snow conditions, and it's single ply, but it has this technology, aramid fibers. I'll see if I can find it here. Got a little bulletproof vest there, and apparently they're so confident in their tires and this aramid fiber that they've embedded all along the sidewall in the tire that they'll cover any sort of damage that occurs. If you run into a pothole, let's see if they're there. If you have any sort of pothole damage, or the road manages to puncture these tires for some reason, and the sidewall goes and they're beyond repair, they will replace them free of charge to you. So they stand behind the tire that it is going to be as tough as anything out in the field. Such as up from other competitors. You can see the tread depth there. So this tire is 27 pounds. The stock tires were just about 23 pounds that came with this car. The all seasons, the Goodyear all seasons were about 22.9, so essentially 23 pounds. The Wild Peaks, the Nomads, all of those were 30 pounds. So I can't help but think that a 7-pound increase per tire is gonna drag down MPG. There's just no way around it. These are 27 pounds. I think it's because they're single ply, but yet still have that aramid sidewalls. So I just got these. These probably have about, I don't know, 30 miles on them, these tires. And I haven't noticed a difference in the ride and the noise. Noise was something that I was kind of worried about. I talked to a few tire shop guys, and they said that the Nomads were definitely loud, or at least noticeable, at the very least. They look great, but these tend to be a little bit quieter, as well as the Wild Peaks. The Wild Peaks are just phenomenal tires from what I heard. But I like the siping on the side here. That's just an awesome way to evacuate water in the wintertime. And being that this is a car that my girlfriend can drive a lot, or does drive a lot, I kind of wanted to get the best tires that way, just for the peace of mind of her or my mom driving it. Never have to worry. And I think paired up with the all-wheel drive that the Mazda has, this is great. But like I said, not a lot of reviews out there. Just wanted to get something up there. Same stock size that the previous tire had. I could have gone up a little bit to 235s, even 245s, but again, at that point I'm kind of putting something bigger, and I don't want to throw off the computer on the car or anything like that, and also sacrifice the mileage just for the aesthetics of it. I'm very comfortable with these tires and that they'll get me through what I need. I don't do any hardcore off-roading, but a lot of goat trails, a lot of single lane granite roads where potholes are just massive, and just wanted that peace of mind. And it's a great tire. Everything I read, 65,000 mile warranty. It's got 2 different sidewalls. It's got this kind of more aggressive looking side, and the inner sidewall is more all season looking. Just very, I'll post something up once. I'm tracking the mileage right now, see if there is a mile. I tend to be pretty featherfoot. I'm pretty conservative with stopping and accelerating. I don't punch it. I don't drive fast. I do go about 75, 80 pretty often. That's just how the highways work. These big interstate highways, that's just kind of what you have to go, whether you want to or not. So I will be tracking that. I was averaging anywhere between 29 to 31 miles to the gallon in this Mazda. And so I'll see if these have any impact in that. Once I get them into the snow, I'll be posting more about them and see how their traction is, see if they actually live up to the hype. They're all weather tires, a step up from all seasons. So I'm not expecting studded winter tire performance out of these, but they were tested and produced in Finland, where they have harsh winters compared to the West Coast. So I'm sure anything I do of going up to the mountains on a weekend is going to be within the range of these, and I tend to be pretty cautious in adverse weather regardless, so I'm not expecting these to be ice tires or anything like that. So I'll post more once I get more info on them. Just want to get something out. I know I did a lot of research on tires. They're not cheap. I was able to trade in my previous tires that had about 13,000 miles on them, and that discounted $200 off the price. I didn't do the whole tire protection that America's Tire, or Discount Tire in some parts of the country they call the store. I guess on the Midwest and East Coast it's Discount Tire, West Coast it's America's Tire, but I didn't do their in-house tire protection, so that took off about another $200. Out the door, these were about $720 with the $200 off of the tires I had before. So I'm pretty happy with that. I couldn't find anyone that was cheaper, and They did a really good job. I've always had good experiences going to America's Tire. They tend to be pretty knowledgeable and pretty honest. So yeah, I'll post more info on them. Just want to get something on there. I wanted to see how it looked on a car. There it is. That's a stock size. I could have gone a little bit bigger. I think if I would have gone up to 235s, 6517s, the tire would have weighed 30 pounds, which would have been on par with a traditional 225 6517 Wild Peak. So I could have, but it's just a CUV. Didn't want to go too crazy. I would have gone a 4Runner if I wanted to go anything crazy. So yep, that's what it is. I'll post something else here in a few months, hopefully. All right. Everyone have a blessed day.